But that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to do some work. Whew. My hands are cold. Who knew steel plates get cold in the cold? We're not here to just take the easy route. Good morning. It's a cold day here outside. It is a balmy 20 degrees outside, I believe, and we are feeling it. So we got the heaters cranking in here, getting things nice and warmed up for us. Hopefully we can get some semblance of toasty, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have to settle for some lukewarm in here this morning. We've got a leg day ahead of us. We are going to be coming back to our heavy leg presses here, so pretty pumped about that. We're going to be starting with some of our normal stuff with our hamstring curls here, and then eventually we're going to move on to some leg extensions. Normally, I've been doing some dumbbell step-ups, and I've been really enjoying those on my leg press days. But today I want to do some leg extensions as I was able to procure a seat belt for this leg extension machine. I've been looking for a while now, on and off, and I was never really able to find just a seat belt that would essentially just wrap around something. Everything I can find would literally be a actual seat belt that would need to be bolted to this machine. Now, I'm not opposed to doing a little bit of DIY, but honestly, I just wasn't feeling like having to go out and buy a step bit, trying to drill into this thing. The last time I tried to do that, I'm pretty sure it was just a crappy bit, to be honest. I ended up returning the bit and getting a refund, but it just wouldn't cut through this this metal here. Did I have the right drill? Did I have the right step bit? Probably not. I know I have the right drill, but did I use the right drill, or was the bit itself just bad? That's probably much more likely than the bit itself not being able to cut through this metal here. But nonetheless, I really just didn't feel like faffing about with it. So I was able to find a seat belt that is namely for applications where somebody might be sitting in a wheelchair and they need a seat belt, in front of the person, kind of on the handlebars. And it literally just loops around and through itself on the handlebar, and then you can click it in place and it'll prevent that individual from falling out. I am using it in the same manner here. I have it wrapped around the bottom metal support bar underneath the seat. And you'll see later, it literally just clicks around me without any additional work, and it was also a fraction of the price of what I was able to find for other seat belts. Regular seat belts were not terribly expensive. I want to say maybe they were like 30 bucks-ish or so. I was able to find one seat belt from Gym Pin. That was like 40 or 50 bucks though. And I just was like, that just seems like a lot of money for a strap with a buckle on it. This seat belt for these wheelchairs is $12. A lot cheaper. And it honestly, from an application standpoint and getting it actually functional, it's much simpler. It's going to fit right in and it's going to work perfectly. So what I had to do was extend it just a little bit. It's only about 42 inches long, I believe, 42, 45 inches long. And I need like at least 50 some odd inches to get around my thighs. I'm going to guess somewhere around 54, 55. I measured it last week, but I forget exactly what the measurement was. So I took two of my toe straps here, these blue guys behind me, and I wrapped them on either end of the seatbelt, which is two separate pieces. They have two separate wraps there. And that gave it the perfect amount of clearance and still gave me the ability to tighten that strap down. So pretty excited to put that into use today. I've toyed around with it on video here before. You've seen me talk about it, and when I sit on this thing, I'm always like grabbing the seat as hard as I can to hold myself down there. I think this is going to be a huge step up. Just from the very small test I did last night when this thing arrived in the mail, I did a couple test reps here, and it felt just fantastic not having to hold that seat. But that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's get right off into this. We're going to start with some hamstring curls, and then we're going to be working our way over to some heavy leg presses. My legs are feeling pretty darn tight this morning. Not entirely sure why. A little unusual for them to feel this tense. It's cold though. It might be yet. It's actually quite a bit colder than it has been in some time. But in here it's already getting up to about 50 degrees. Somewhere between 45 and 50 degrees, I guess. All right, let's do some work. not bad on that one. Hamstrings are feeling a little tight today. So I'm actually going to drop this down to 60. Take a 10 off of here. I want to focus a lot more on that contraction, that hold at the top, that squeeze right now. These just don't feel like they're moving that smooth. And it could be for a number of reasons. I mean, we've been doing this weight pretty well for a couple weeks now. It's always dipped off as the sets have gone on, which is fine. But today, I'm going to intentionally reduce it versus go into the second set with the same amount of weight and maybe not hit our reps today. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Much better. Very glad we did that. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but you reduced the weight. That's not as hard. It's not as difficult. That means you could do more. Well, not necessarily. We still worked our ass off to get that, man. These hamstrings are on fire, and they are feeling it right now. So this is a good weight for us at the moment. Now on this last set here, we're going to be doing long length partials. So we're not even going to be coming all the way up to the top. We're going to be keeping it a little bit short of that. Not necessarily right at about 50%, a little bit more than 50% on the way up, probably 60 to 70%. It's arbitrary. And then we're going to be coming down only until we're about to lose tension. That's the key point there. We're just not going to come all the way back down at the end of the movement. Here we go. Oh boy. Okay, that was tough. Whew. I'm glad we reduced the weight earlier. Really hard there to hit all those reps, but felt great. So we're gonna get set up for our leg press here, and in between kind of getting the different pieces set up, I'm gonna be doing some more static stretches over here. Simply just gonna be bending over at the waist, really elongating the hamstrings. Some of them will be standing, some of them will be seated on the floor, but trying to touch our toes, trying to just keep moving those hamstrings, keep them getting warmed up. It is cold in here. It very well could be that. I don't think anything major has changed in my routine that might be giving my hamstrings some grief, but who knows what it could be. So we're gonna give them a little extra attention, a little extra love today. We got some active stretching done, obviously, when we were doing the work itself. Really calling it active stretching is not even really that accurate. It was actual work. We were doing work with these leg curls. So let's move on over here, get set up for our leg press, and at the same time in between all this, do some active stretching. All right, nice and warmed up. I think I even got a small sweat going on in here, if you can believe that. Last week we did 500, or about a week ago. We did 500 here. Today, we bumped it up to 520. So going up, that last week felt great. I wrote it exuberantly in my notebook. So we're going up in a weight this week. Let's crush this out. Let's get after it. Man, these have been feeling better and better every week, I swear. I'm glad we're doing the weight we're doing. I feel like I need to get another weight horn or something to help increase this weight a little bit more. We're going to run out of room here soon. Maybe just some more bands. Could do that too. All right, bumped it up 20 more pounds, 540 in iron weight. It's gonna be good. We got this. All right, let's do this. Come on. Woo! All right, let's fry these puppies with some leg extensions now. Those were great. Definitely feeling the exhaustion here. I still feel like I could do more though, in a weird way, like more weight overall. It's been a couple minutes since it's ended, so I'll probably being a little overzealous here. But yeah, I feel like there's more there. We'll see. I'm thinking about maybe next week adding an extra set, and I wrote that down in my notebook, so we'll see. So let's get strapped in here. Like I said, I got the seatbelt, and I'm pumped for this thing, man. Is it gonna revolutionize this? No. Is it gonna make it easier and better? Yeah. Let's get strapped in here. It's literally just a regular seatbelt. It's got a little red push button on it and everything, just like your car. And then it's got a nice little strap here to pull us in. So now we're locked in. Let's get after it. That is so good. An absolute net improvement by a magnitude of 10 to have the seatbelt on here. You know, not having to like use some of our energy to hold ourselves down is so freaking nice. We're gonna add 10 more pounds to this, and I'm actually gonna lean the seat back one click. I just want to play with that today a little bit. Locked back in here. Let's get the seat dialed down one. There we go. Just want to play with the angle of my back a little bit. I want to see if it can help affect and target the quads a little bit more. We'll see. There shouldn't be a reason for it, but I want to see if maybe I'm better able to get a full extension, a lockout, so to speak, or anything like that. Let's give it a go. Tight in here. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Now, does this feel like a completely new machine? Maybe. A little bit. A little bit. Is this something you can't live without? No. But I'm going to say for like the 12 bucks it was, 14 bucks it was, this is a really good investment. Good material, solid. I'd give the seatbelt a 5 out of 5 as far as review goes. Feels nice, functions well. I mean, it's a seatbelt, people. It's a real seatbelt. Definitely got the same stitching, same material. I don't see like a weight capacity on it, but I'm sure it's far in excess of what we're leg pressing here. All right, one more. Let's do it. You know, I really am impressed with how how much I'm feeling those leg extensions. I think especially after the leg press, that did me really good and took my quads all the way home. I still want to do the step-ups for the next couple weeks, I would imagine, because especially after moving to that solid bench there, I know those greatly improved. So I do want to give those another shot. I was just eager to try out the seatbelt today, and I wanted to give that a go, which is why we swapped our leg extensions in instead of the step-ups. But, you know, to get this kind of quad dominance in those step-ups, it's going to be a tall order. It's definitely going to be a tall order. Not an impossible order, not something that would be impossible for us to achieve, but, you know, it would be definitely a lot of work to hit it the same way we just did. But that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to do some goddamn work. We're not here to just take the easy route. So, you know, if after another week or two, these step-ups just aren't giving me the same feel that I have in my quads right now, and I can tell you, these things are tired, very tired. These sissy squats are probably going to be pretty painful in a good way. But if these step-ups aren't producing the same kind of intensity and exhaustion in the muscle that these extensions are able to, look, I don't care if we have to do this 3 times a week. We're going to do them. We're going to do them. All right, we've got our, speaking of sissy squats, we've got our hip adductions and sissy squat superset here. So let's get cracking after that. Okay, here we go. Man, I really have fallen in love with this exercise. Let's make these sissy squats really hurt here, huh? Oh, yeah, that was all right. That was good. All right, last one here. Let's smash it. Oh, nice. Ooh, all right. I took those last ones nice and slow, which I'm glad I did. I didn't really how long I've been doing these now. I didn't really realize I was rushing through them, kind of just doing the motion really. So slowing it down, being intentional, and really taking these quads to the farm. All right, it's a great workout today. Whew. Feels good to be having a good day so far. Yesterday started out a little rough. I was just in a weird spot. We have those days. And we can choose to let it perpetuate and let it control us, let it define who we are and how we behave and act. But at the end of the day, we're in control of how we feel, or at least how we react to the things going on around us. So we've just got to take those conscious steps to do better, to be more maybe, to worry less, fear less, hate less. If we could do those things, it makes everything a little bit easier. If we're not so afraid to fail, to make a mistake, to look silly, if we're not so fearful of others around us, of things that make us uncomfortable, people that make us uncomfortable, it doesn't need to matter. Those things and people, they don't need to matter. They don't need to affect our day-to-day. They don't need to control how we're acting, behaving, how our workout goes, how our time with our friends and family is spent, whether that means we're lost in thoughts or endlessly scrolling on Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, or X now, I guess, TikTok. We don't need to be fearful of those things. We don't need to let them send us into this endless cycle of spinning out of control. So try to be mindful of that. That's what I would say. That's what I had to do yesterday to get out of that. And today we're in a better spot overall. And we had a really good workout because of it. Yesterday's was good too. It was tough though. It was tough to be present and not just go through the motions. But it was a good one. Today's was better. And tomorrow's could be even better than that. So I'm going to wrap up with some calf raises here. I hope you have a great day, a great afternoon, great evening, whatever it is. I hope it's good to you. I hope you're good to yourself. I'll see you soon.